Look, ice cream lovers, my name's Steve Christensen, the Ice Cream Bloke, self-appointed headmaster of Scoop School, best-selling author. There's a lot of other things I can go through, but far be it from me to talk about myself. Thank you for joining us. Another viewer question. Love viewer questions. We also love our episode sponsor, which is Dave Dedman, Sarah Dedman, the whole crew up there in Madison, Wisconsin, Chocolate Shop Ice Cream Company. If you've decided that maybe making your ice cream is too much, and you want to buy your ice cream, sneeze coming on. Just jokes. They always come in three, though. If you decided, where was I? If you wanted to buy your ice cream rather than make it, Chocolate Shop Ice Cream has a product for you. Huge range of flavors, distribution throughout a lot of the country. Click on the link down below and ask them, because might be a good option for you to get into the ice cream business, buy some great quality ice cream, scoop and sell it. Bob's your uncle. The link is down below. Okay, viewer question. Love viewer questions. Another question about mix. Where are we going to put it this time, Madeline? We're going to put it right over my face. Okay, let's move it up here. Okay, at channel 00001. Appreciate all the videos. Please, I need help. Don't we all? My soft serve is getting grainy. Why does this happen? When the product initially goes in, it's nice and creamy. I noticed it's icy, grainy, and also there might be some fat separation. I need a consistent product, creamy, smooth all the time. Look, don't we all? Wouldn't we love a consistent, creamy, smooth ice cream product? Well, let's talk a little bit about and break that down for you. Down here, Madeline, we've got a couple of options for mix. This is a Dole product. It is a powder and water product. A little bit more prone to separation than perhaps buying a liquid mix. So again, when you're talking about maybe the mix separating out a little bit, you may have to agitate your product. This is an agitator that sits inside this soft serve machine, sits right here. Let me take those blades out. Sits right here and agitates the product. Now, I know a lot of ice cream soft serve machines don't have these, and maybe you don't, and maybe that's part of the problem. But if you don't have one of these, then maybe just a regular whisk in the top here, just to make sure that the product is staying together. It does have a tendency to separate out if you're using a powdered mix. Now back down here, if you're using a liquid mix, look, liquid mix can separate as well. This is a bag full of sugar, cream, a little bit of stabilizer, and water. And sometimes when you flip a bag over, you can get kind of like a yellowy or greeny tinge here. We've already done a video on it. It's called colloidal separation. And it's always a good idea before you put a bag in, just to give it a knead. That's a K-N-E-A-D. Flip it over. Do it on the other side. Again, maybe you've got vanilla in, maybe you don't. A little bit of a knead here, and then a slap, just because you can. Okay, so that's the mix issue. So hopefully that's kind of in line with what you're working with. Another thing here, which we've really just done a video on very recently, is the amount of time that it sits here in the hopper. So your mix may sit here during slower times for hours on end, and that's where separation happens. So again, maybe using a silicone whisk. I'm not a big fan of putting metal on metal up here. So get a silicone whisk. There'll be a link for one down in the show notes down here. We use that, it's pretty good. Whisk it up here on a regular basis. Another issue might be your flow valve. This is called a number of different things for different machines. Carburetor tube, flow valve. And here is the hole in which the mix flows from the hopper down through the barrel. You may find that this hole is too small for what you're running. I have a second flow valve here. You can see that the hole is a bit wider. We had Taylor drill it out for us because sometimes we run a heavier butterfat product through this machine. So we would use this standard flow valve for the 4 to 6% soft serve. Anything north of 8, 9, 10% fat, we run this one. We run a custom mix through this one here. So you may want to talk to your equipment provider and say, hey, am I using the right flow valve for my product fat? Because a higher fat product won't have the viscosity to get through this smaller hole, and you may be overbeating it in the barrel. It's not allowing enough to not fill the barrel, but fill the barrel up to the point where it needs to. And so your dasher is in here turning like this, kind of over mashing product. It's not getting enough through there. Another thing while we're down here too is that your unit will basically keep churning this until it feels its viscosity or its thickness is right, and then it'll stop. And you'll find a lot of stores, particularly in the winter time, when you're not pulling product through and kind of extracting it out, that you're basically overbeating the product here. If you don't have the issue in the summertime, basically means that it's a flow problem. So it could be one of three things. Check your mix, make sure that it's being whisked and mixed properly, whether it be a liquid mix or a powdered mix. Make sure your flow valve is the right setting for it. In that case, while you're talking to your equipment person, you may find that your equipment is either turning on or shutting off refrigeration too quick or too long. It's called an automatic expansion valve, or an expansion valve that opens and allows refrigerant to come into the system and then closes again when it reaches a certain temperature. So it might be worth having your equipment people have a bit of a look at it. Here's the third sneeze coming up. They always wait right till the end. And then, you know, the amount of product that it has coming through, whether you're busy, whether you're not. A little bit more information, please. I'd love to hear from you. But thank you very much for sharing your questions and your concerns, because there might be thousands of other people here who might be just a little bit too shy. I don't know, the kids do that. To mention it. So thank you for commenting. Let us know if any of those recommendations work for you. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much again to Chocolate Shop for sponsoring the video. We don't do it regularly enough for me to remember. So down here under this arm is a good video. Up here is a click to subscribe. And under the arm over here takes you straight to scoopschool.com. I'd love to see you in class one day. Keep on scooping, folks. See you in the next video.